At 2:14 p.m. local time on April 21, 2025, in Costa Rica, a powerful explosion jolted the surrounding landscape. At the Poás Volcano, a towering and wide eruption plume shot upwards, raining down debris and volcanic bombs, including incandescent material beyond its crater rim. For 10 minutes, continuous ash emissions fed the growing eruption plume, which shot upwards to a height of 4,708 meters or 15,446 feet. As this plume drifted to the southwest, ash fell on numerous nearby ashfall extent communities within a 40-kilometer radius, albeit primarily to the south and southwest, including the nation's capital city of San Jose. One of my viewers added to this on the southern flank of Poas, also reporting the smell of sulfur in the air alongside the falling ash. What had just occurred was the largest single eruption the Poás volcano had produced in 53 years, marking an unusually large phreatic, possibly phreatomagmatic eruption. As a quick reference, eruption size here is a comparison table of various eruptions this volcano, which is famous for its frequent incredibly small explosive eruptions, has produced during the last 60 years. While this eruption, which I would primarily assign a volcanic explosivity index of a 2, was quite large in the context of Poas, I would only rate it as a medium-sized eruption in the context of all volcanoes worldwide. It is quite rare for an eruption column at Poas to rise above the neighboring Poás cone to the south. Thankfully, no significant damage or injuries were reported, as the Poás Volcano National Park had been closed off to everyone since March 26, 2025. Surprisingly, despite the incandescent material seen being ejected on infrared webcams, no evidence of fresh lava bombs have yet been found, so this eruption may have had no or only a negligible magmatic component to it. To understand why this eruption occurred, I eruption model have created my interpretation of a cross-section of the Poás volcano. The vast brown, gray, white, and yellow material surrounding its active Laguna Caliente crater represents hydrothermally altered rock. As groundwater in the local rainforest permeates deeper underground, some of the heat from a presumed intermediate depth body of magma is transferred to the water, causing it to flash to steam. This steam would then rise, and since steam takes up around 1,600 times the volume of the water it once was, it causes an immense amount of pressure to build. Normally, the presence of an overlying highly acidic crater lake would allow rising gas an easier path to the surface, resulting in multiple small eruptions. However, around 10 days ago, it is likely that a series of explosions created a blockage in the gas conduit, and due to activity before this, the acidic crater lake had largely become dry. As a result, between April 11 and April 21, pressure built up, taking 10 days to finally overcome the overlying rock, resulting in an unusually large phreatic explosive eruption. In other words, instead of hundreds of smaller explosions occurring across a 10-day timespan, one large explosion took its place. Due to the now largely absent acidic crater lake, in my opinion, it is quite likely that less frequent albeit larger volume than typical explosive eruptions will continue to occur, depositing some ash on nearby communities. The last time ash was distributed through a somewhat acid rain, in 1994, similarly widespread area around Poas occurred in 1994, and I want to note that the sulfur dioxide from that year's eruption mixed with rainwater to create acid rain which damaged some nearby crops. So, while I cannot predict that this will occur once again, it is something to keep an eye out for if you live nearby in the upcoming days to weeks. Poas's increase in activity seemingly began around late February 2025, when I noted a minor amount of ground uplift, presumably due to the influx of a new batch of magma. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on YouTube.